and his question is directed to Professor Bhagat. He says, sir, it has been reported that about 70% of COVID-19 cases are from 11 major metro cities. My question is that what would be the new normal for sustainable restoration of urban centers?
Yes. So yes, there are going to be many things. One is the work from home, but how many will get the opportunity of work from home? So that is one thing. Some of the things can be work from home, like financial sector, educational sector, but there are many things work from home will not be possible. And social distancing also, how we are going to organize classes and maintaining distance between the students. So this class can be online, some of the things can be. So COVID can reorganize our life and economic activities, but that will be not good. That will be further creating inequality in our society. It will be advantageous for some and disadvantageous for the other. Therefore, one has to look for job outside metros, creating non-metros and urbanized area, and taking the urbanization to the doorsteps of the villages. There can be automation also. Now migrants are not coming, so invest more on technology, automation, no need of labor, many things can be done. So that is what consistent with the smart city. So it all depends upon what is going to, how much is being invested, how life is going to organize, but this is going to be, city will be more exclusionary through use of technology. Because new normals will be based on new technology, the use of technology, the IT technology. So I think this we should be prepared to counter in policies and programs.
Okay, thank you, Professor Bhagat. The next
thank you, sir.
Next question is for Mansoor Karim. He is our student from Alia University. His question is directed to Professor Hassan, and he asks, what type of steps government should take to rehabilitate the return migratory laborers? The laborers who come back to the state, origin state, what kind of steps should the government take? He hasn't mentioned whether state government or central government, but you can touch upon both things. Professor Hassan.
Dr. Anwaruzzama, first part of this thing I could not hear. There was a noise in between. So can you repeat your question again?
I'm exactly reading out in reverse migration, a problem to our village economy and economic system, and how the government should take steps to rehabilitate the returned migrant laborers. This is the exact word he has, used.
That
policy recommendation. He basically asks about policy recommendations for the government to rehabilitate migratory laborers.
Look, policy recommendation, this has been a big learning for us. Never before we had this experience. Now see, as Dr. Bhagat was pointing it out, urban local bodies have to be strengthened. In fact, with their involvement, things can be smoothened even in the rural areas, villages where the migrants reach. Obviously, one would expect that when these migrant workers, supposing hypothetically that things were planned initially in a way like all these migrant workers were given an option, of course, but for a place like Bombay, there was no option. We did slums in one slum, so many in one room, so many people lived together that would have created havoc. So shifting them to their native place was the only best choice, and government should have arranged their, proper screening, etc., and then deported them. And then at state headquarters, just one, allow me, there is a battery problem in my laptop. I'll just connect it to the charger.
Should I go for next question to Professor Bhagat then?
Yes.
Yes, please.
So Professor Bhagat, next question is from somebody, Rukhsana Irani. She is asking, due to migration, the demography changes continuously, which can which have effects on the incidence of COVID-19. What can be done to keep track on that?
Okay. So
you are not in WhatsApp group. That is one problem. And I am reading it out again.
You read out.
Due to migration, the demography changes continuously, which
Right.
can have effects on the incidence of COVID-19. What can be done to keep track on that?
How to keep track on that?
Yeah.
See, it is again, people are returning to their villages. There, it is better. See, there are many things good in villages. You can maintain social distancing in village. Social distancing is very difficult to maintain in slum area. Panchayat can help. They can quarantine in somebody's house or in the schools. Village people can provide food. Here, nobody is there to look after in urban area. So again, it's a community help and community government partnership, civil society and government partnership. But our government is not present at a local level. That is the problem. Our government is very centralized. One size fits all. Everything comes from Home Ministry or central government, PMO office. So this is what is the lacking policy. Tracing is possible. Social distancing is possible. Treatment is possible. So tracing, social distancing, treatment. These three things are there to fight COVID. And we are not able to do in Mumbai because Mumbai is 50% slum and the people have to very high density and the local self-government is not working. So this is the multiple failure in our big city. I think village has good opportunity. So this comes as an opportunity also. So we have challenges and we have strengthened local democracy, local institution, civil society. So this can help and it is possible to do. Thank you.
Next question. Thank you, Professor Bhagat. Next question is from Saraswati Karketa. She is from Rabindra Bharati University, Geography Department. She is assistant professor. Her question is not clearly indicating whom she is asking, but both of you can answer this question. She is talking about PPT model, public-private partnership. So this being the buzzword, under this pandemic situation, how far this PPP model is going to help to solve the problem? Is there any chance that PPT model is going to help?
PPP model?
PPP, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Triple P.
Triple P model. Yes, it can see how the institutional design is made. How in health sector particularly. Now we have shortage of ventilators. We have shortage of testing. We have shortage of medicine, healthcare facility. So PPP can, public-private partnership can help, but not the type of public-private partnership we see in toll plaza. Toll plaza, if you see, people have made some few 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers of road and taking toll for 20 years time. So this is by something a state mandated exploitation. So how far PPP is poor, that depends upon the state government's policy, how much it is subsidized. So this is a good thing. I say that it should be encouraged, but in which area, where, that is what, not in primary health care. COVID requires primary health care, tracing, treatment, and providing medical care at the primary health care. Primary health care should be exclusively the domain of the government. But in tertiary care, secondary care, we can have public-private partnership. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Bhagat. Next question is from Rubia Vishwas. She is our research scholar in our department. She is asking that our Honorable Prime Minister is putting the idea is vocal to local. In the light of this, how it is going to affect our global migration, and what would be its impact on the indigenous workforce in the light of vocal to slogan, vocal to local.
Should I speak or Professor Hassan like to reply?
Professor Hassan?
Say, I will just say one sentence. If it doesn't offend anyone, there is hardly any content in that slogan. I don't see any merit in that. That vocal to local, I mean, it is in fact in contradiction with what has been happening by now, and doesn't serve much of the purpose. A lot of contradiction we see. So I would not like to comment upon that, because whatever I speak will be political in nature. So you want to say something on Bhagatji on that?
You first complete
No. I just say that it doesn't have any merit. I mean, that's
okay. So this globalization, the global to local, so this sounds very well, but is there any political will? Is there any political will to cut off India from rest of the world? So we should not import oil. Whatever we there, we use it here, whatever there, and cut off India. We don't require dollar. And that is, I think, very revolutionary. Very foreign exchange, we don't require foreign exchange, like North Korea or some country like. And then this is very local, can be very national and not global, because entire global mechanism, if you see, government also gives example. There is a world recession, what we can do? World recession, how does world recession affect poor people in Jharkhand and Bihar? They want basic needs, and basic needs can be home produced. We don't require to buy something, food or medicine or some primary education or something. We do not have to buy from international market. Some of the things it is to be homegrown, and therefore this has merit. But is there any political will? So that is where is that the political will is very, very important. If something is said and something is done, and you see the 20 crore package, that doesn't reflect. Now government is thinking that it is the global will